And now we welcome his opponent into the arena. Tonight, fighting out of the red corner and also making his Quest Boxing League debut. Please make some noise and welcome Ash Molloy. Ladies and gentlemen, distinguished guests, our opening bout of the evening. So introducing your first fighter, standing and boxing out of the blue corner. Tonight representing Hadley Boxing Club. Please show your appreciation and welcome Jack Castle. And his opponent standing across the ring and boxing out of the red corner. Tonight representing White Dogs Gym in Red Hill. Please make some noise for Ash Molloy. This light heavyweight contest to be fought over 3 two-minute rounds. Our timekeeper of the bell, Mr. Peter McCann. Our referee in charge of the action when the bell rings, Mr. Kane Baker.
So welcome everybody to the Bring It On show with Quest Boxing League. First up tonight we've got Jack Castle versus Ash Molloy. Jack Castle, we know he's very experienced. He's got a bit of a losing record. He's up against Ash Molloy tonight. He's got a decent bit of experience himself. 5 wins, 3 losses. He's going to want to add to that win record this evening up against Jack Castle. Both having their debuts tonight. One thing I want to say, Dan, who's sitting next to me here, Dan Morley, my co-commentator. It was lovely to see when Ash Molloy got into the ring, walked straight up to Jack Castle, give him a cuddle, showed respect, went over to the corner. It's lovely when you see fighters do that, and then look at him now, straight down to work.
Yeah, he is. He's not messing around at the start of this round, but it's good to be back with you again, Dan, and looking forward to commentating these fights. But yeah, impressed with how Molloy started here. Not really rushing his work too much, but working at a good intensity. Castle, obviously, you know, very experienced. He knows how to smother, as he's done there. Just tie up, grab the arm, try and kill a bit of time.
Yeah, that's what Molloy's got to be careful of against someone with the experience of Castle. Although he's got a losing record, they learn little tricks, don't they? And they make your life really hard for you. And like you said there, if he does go in and starts rushing in, that's when he can get caught. Because yeah. Jack Castle, he's letting his hands go.
Also, when he had hold of Molloy's arm in that, and he caught him on the break. So these, you know, fighting these kind of fighters like Castle, these experienced fighters, is how you learn. Just smothering his work slightly, Molloy just wants to get a little bit more space. There are, you know, there's a body shot there against Castle. The ribs are quite high, so if he sets that up and drives it in, there's a good shot there. You just don't want to be too close like the one he's thrown there and smother.
Yeah, he's working too far in range, isn't he? He's working well within his range when he needs to just take that little step back, just to build a little bit more power in his shots and give himself a bit of breathing space to let his hands go. It's really hard to do that because it does put you at risk of you're in a position to take heavier shots as well. But Molloy handled that round really well. Jack Castle more than played his part as well, didn't he?
Yeah, no, 100%. I think with Molloy, he's obviously won that first round, he's come out, but he's thrown a lot of work. Just relax.
Yeah.
You know, if you force your work too much, one, you can punch yourself out, especially, you know, Castle is there to be here, so just take your time. He's won that first round, but just ease in, a little bit more distance, take your shots, work in your defence. But, you know, first round, a little bit of nervous energy, and ultimately he's gone out and won it.
Yeah, definitely. And you can see, if you look at the corner of Molloy, he's breathing heavy, whereas Jack Castle's super relaxed, arms up on the ropes, doesn't care. Whereas Molloy is breathing heavy. Like you said, he put a lot of work into that.
It's all experience. It's all experience. It's
Yeah,
how you learn. Against someone like Jack Castle, who, as we've said, is very experienced. You know, and you pick up these little things. It's a learning process. You know, making his Quest debut tonight, so good first round for him.
And that's another thing to mention as well. On these shows, these Quest boxing shows, the production is so good, and it's something that fighters are just not used to, being under the lights, commentary team by the side, all the cameras in their face. Yeah. More often than not, we see they actually produce really good fights when you've got two good debutants.
It's a nice uppercut there,
but it can be really difficult. It was a lovely little shot there from Molloy.
It is difficult, yeah. I mean, it's just, you know, it's pressure. You put that pressure on yourself. It's like a pro show. You want to go out and you want to get the knockout. You're readying up Castle's ribs there. Castle isn't digging his elbow in. So if I was Molloy, I'd keep throwing that shot.
Yeah, he's wide open. He's got quite a long body, hasn't he, Jack Castle? He's quite exposed, like you said, round there. He's if he keeps digging that in, and they take a lot out of you as well.
Yeah, you do. What you want to do is just bend your legs a little bit more and just dig your elbow in. Just, you know, don't give your opponent that space to hit, because it's a nasty shot to take, and you can see that the left side of Castle's body is really reddening up. This has been a tough night for him so far, and nice work there from Molloy, not allowing Castle to grab, rolling out, small centre of gravity, making himself a small target. That was nice there.
Yeah, one thing I will say as well is that Castle's he's not just giving this fight to Molloy. Molloy is he's having to work for this, and he's actually doing a lovely uppercut there.
That was a beautiful shot. He looks hurt there as well.
Yeah, I don't know if there was a little body shot that snuck in there. It looks like he was holding his midriff rather than his chin. It was an uppercut that seemed to do the damage, but then he was holding his stomach.
Yeah, well, Castle has a tendency of going over his front foot like he is there. When you do that, you're susceptible for those uppercuts. And you said earlier how Castle isn't letting him have it. He's got no choice, otherwise he's just going to take a hiding.
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
It's a good work from Molloy, and that was a lovely little uppercut he set up too with that jab. Didn't just throw it blind, set it up with a jab.
As you mentioned, in that first round, come out, he was quite active in that first round. Do you think he sort of settled down a little bit in that round?
Yeah,
obviously.
You know what? Not really. He just kept he kept the work rate. Yeah, to a degree, but he found the target a bit more. So when you find that target and you know where to start hitting, he targeted in on that more. So it didn't seem as rushed, because when he was hitting, he was landing. Yeah. And then obviously set up the shots. And I found Castle was a lot more open in that second round.
Yeah, I think what I sort of see a little bit towards the end of that round is that they're both getting a little bit tired, or a little bit more tired than they were towards the back end of the first round. And that's when your sort of natural boxing skills start coming out, the things you do, because you're not able to jump around the ring like you was in the first 30 seconds. So I think Molloy showed towards the back end of that round, showed a bit more, and it was because I think he was tired and slowed down a little bit, and Castle was obviously tired and left those, like you said, very open.
Head's not to guard, Ashley.
Good shot from Castle on the way in there.
Yeah, that fatigue is no joke, especially as you said earlier, when you step into this kind of environment, you're not used to it. The nervous energy, you know, you burn it before the fight, you get in, you're a little over anxious, you work, and then by round 3, you're feeling it. But I'm liking Molloy's jab there, just got a little bit over eager as he come in, but he started this first round nicely with that jab.
It's something I want to pick up on. You sort of mentioned when we was talking about going around to the body, about bending your knees a little bit. I think Molloy's quite straight-legged anyway. He doesn't really bend his knees, and I think that'd add another dimension to what he does, and really take his game to another level, because he actually boxes really well, but he's just on stiff legs, like you see there. He's standing upright and trying to bring his shots up, almost like trying to do a bicep curl. If you get your legs bent, drive underneath that, then you can drive your body through the shot.
Exactly, yeah, otherwise it's more of an arm punch. It still hurts, but yeah, if you get yourself in that low position, twist your hips and your body through, you double the amount of body that's going through the shot. And and not just that, it puts you in a better position to land a shot too. You're low. With someone like Castle, where the shots are there, just take your time, bend your legs, drive them in.
On the other side of that, if your knees are soft and cushioned, it helps you to take a shot as well. So if you get caught a little bit unawares where you're throwing shots, if you're stiff-legged, then you've got to rebalance off of stiff legs. Whereas if you've got nice soft knees, the rebalance you can adjust a lot quicker.
Of course, yeah. I'm liking that jab of Molloy. When he throws that jab, he can't miss it.
He's got a lovely jab, yeah.
There's probably the shot that's bloodied Castle's nose. It's just a case of not loading up. You haven't got to load up here. You just got to pick your shots. There's so many openings here. That left uppercut he threw, the not head back, was probably the only shot that wasn't loaded up. It landed. It's just a case of not trying to hit too hard. Pick your shots, set them up, and Molloy will land these.
Yeah, I think this is a really good performance by Molloy so far. And I think just a few little tweaks, like I said, softening the knees up a little bit, giving himself a bit more manoeuvrability around the ring. He goes from a good performance here to a very good performance. Don't get me wrong, that was a very good performance. But in his next fight, he then takes it up a next level, and I can see him being a real good fighter in a few fights. A bit of nerve, stuff like that, but just little things that come as you go into your career. Like I say, softening those knees, thinking about, rather than just pouring your arms around the body, moving around and letting the shots go. But yeah, I mean, for what he had in front of him tonight, the fighter he had in front of him tonight, his debut, you can't knock that at all, can you?
I'll tell you what, Jack Castle had a tough night tonight.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I think Molloy was on form, and I think Jack Castle come out and played a very good part in the first round. And I think he just started petering out, didn't he, towards the middle of the second round. And I think Molloy had it all his own way in the last round.
Yeah, no, a clear Molloy win there.
Yeah.
Had a good learning fight, and he scored the knockdown, picked some good shots, and like you say, a few little tweaks, and he'll develop nicely.
Yeah, I think as well, to mention the sort of fighter that Jack Castle is, there'll be a lot of fighters that go up against him that don't perform like that because of the sort of fighter he is. So, yeah, hats off to Jack Castle there as well.
Boxers center, please. Ladies and gentlemen, distinguished guests, please show your appreciation for both boxers stood here in the ring.
So angry.
And ladies and gentlemen, after 3 rounds of action, we go to the judges' scorecards with a unanimous decision. Your winner of the bout in the red corner, Ash Molloy.
Yeah, rightful winner there, Ash Molloy. Really good debut, really impressed with him, and looking forward to seeing him again, looking forward to seeing him improve and get better. Yeah, can't really say much more
than that. And you know what, Dan? In the first round, when he started off with that work rate, you do sometimes notice a tendency in fighters, especially making their debut, that by the end of it, they slow right down. He didn't.
No, I think he rather than looking like he slowed down, he looked like he composed himself and started thinking about what he was doing. And perhaps that's what the corner team said to him after the first round. Look, just calm yourself down.